First off, I just want to say thank you so much to Common Cause and the League of Women Voters for having me. I'm honored to be here among so many anti-gerrymandering advocates on such an important day. My name is Josh Lafair and I'm a senior in high school. I enjoy board games, politics, and sports. I dislike Brussels sprouts and chemistry. And I hate gerrymandering. You see, my brother, sister, and I grew up in a gerrymandered district in Austin, Texas. District 10 to be exact. It's got a little bit of Austin, a large swath of the countryside, and a little bit of Houston. A full 3.5-hour drive away. And I started talking to my friends about how crazy it is that I'm voting with people from Houston, or now just voting with people from Houston. And I realized that a lot of them don't even know what district they're in. They don't know who they're voting with, and they don't know that Austin is cracked into 6 separate congressional districts. My friends and I talk about politics often, but we never discuss gerrymandering. And in general, I suspect this is very similar throughout the US. For instance, everybody is talking about the Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election, which is extraordinarily important. But shouldn't more people also be talking about gerrymandering? Yeah! Shouldn't more people be talking about how our politicians, the people we have entrusted to lead us, are interfering in election after election after election against us?
That's right!
So my brother, sister, and I wondered, how do we get more people to talk about gerrymandering? And we thought back to all the times we've used board games to have face-to-face connections around the table. Why not do the same thing with gerrymandering? So my brother, sister, and I decided to invent a board game, Mapmaker, the Gerrymandering Game. We had 3 goals. 1, we wanted to start conversations around the country about an issue that isn't discussed enough. 2, we wanted to teach people about gerrymandering in a fun, hands-on way. And 3, we want to remind politicians that gerrymandering is not a game.
That's right!
So we started by doing more research about gerrymandering. I just want to say quick thanks to Jonathan Mattingly, Ruth Greenwood, and Gregory Hertzlag for speaking with me about the issue. We play-tested the game with over 100 people, and we launched it on Kickstarter. And to our amazement, with the support of 1,468 families, teachers, and anti-gerrymandering advocates, including many people here today, our Kickstarter funded. Inside each and every single one of our boxes, we are including a Gerrymandering Is Not a Game proclamation. And thanks to our Kickstarter supporters, we are sending 171 games to governors and state legislators around the country who are instrumental in redistricting. We are also sending 82 games to the Supreme Court. We want there to be so many boxes that is impossible to ignore. And when the Supreme Court justices get their games and the politicians get theirs, we want them to remember one thing. Gerrymandering is not a game. It affects real people in real districts all across the country. Mapmaker, the Gerrymandering Game, is a board game. What's happening in the Supreme Court today? That's real. Thank you so much for having me.